L's up, Big Blue Nation, whatever you want to say. That see, you don't have to do L's down, Dion. You can just do what Greg does. Be a fan of both.
I like Louisville, but
You can't.
you
No,
are not a
let me
Louisville
stop you
fan.
there. You can't do L's down if you like Louisville. That's disrespectful.
You don't like Louisville.
I love. Yeah, you're right. I don't. I love them. I love
That's
them.
respect. That was
Also
touche.
love also I love Kentucky. Everybody love everybody. All right. I got nothing to do here. Obviously, the UK UL rivalry is massive. Pat Kelsey, Mark Pope. It's gonna be something I think unfolds for a long time this season. Earlier in the summer, I believe Mark Pope joked that we should all blame Louisville for the annual matchup being as early as it is. I think a lot of people took that as like, Pat Kelsey's trying to catch them early. Maybe they don't have Jaden Quaintness. There's a lot of things going on around that. But Pat Kelsey came out and said that he wishes that the game had been scheduled later as well. But he does think that the timing of this could be exciting for the sport, given that, like, early on in the year, sometimes or at least like early, like the first couple of days of the season, early season, sometimes you lack those big matchups, right? And you're gonna get one early on in this one. You went on to talk about like what this game means, the rivalry being as heated as it'll be, and just saying that like this kind of worked out the way it worked out. I believe he said this on the John Rothstein podcast, which he was really good in that interview. I highly recommend everyone go check that out. He said it's a huge game in the state of Kentucky. You got to find a place for it, but just wish it worked out the way where it would have been later in the year. Dion, I guess your thoughts on should this have been later in the year? And then two, what do you take of this based on what was said earlier, where Mark Pope was like playing Louisville for that? Was that just a joke or like I don't know which way to look at this now.
Wait, what did Mark Pope say?
Someone asked them like this was someone asked Mark Pope, I think like the start of the summer or when this game was scheduled,
Oh,
like
blame
what
Louisville.
yeah, like why is it on this day? And he like kind of jokingly was like, blame Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mark Pope saying that. I don't actually believe it's Louisville's fault. I don't believe it's Kentucky's fault. I would assume there's like billionaires who we have no idea who they are that decided that it was November 11th because that's where they wanted their money to go. You know what I mean? That's how most of these things work. But I love Mark Pope blaming Louisville. Like that's exactly what he should do. Feed into this rivalry. It makes sense from his perspective to do that, by the way, because I mean this respectfully to Pat Kelsey. You do not want to play Kentucky later because you're hoping JQ doesn't play. And that's the thing. Like respectfully to Louisville, I'm sure I don't think Kelsey or Louisville fear anybody. Michael Brown is soaring up like my list of just favorite prospects in general. I don't think Michael, Woolley, McNeely, I mean, you go down, they don't fear nobody, bro. Like they don't care. But if you can catch Kentucky without JQ or with a JQ on a minutes restriction, wouldn't you want to? You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't buy that they're like, oh, I wanted to play it later. No, you didn't. You knew what you're doing. But also Pope knows that like Kelsey didn't necessarily do this on purpose too. So I think it's twofold. I mean, I like it where it's at. I don't think we need more like late December, early January non-con games. Respectfully, like Christmas Day, that's for the NBA in my opinion. So I wouldn't want like that Christmas Day matchup necessarily. Maybe the day after Christmas, but I don't know how locked in. I mean, I would be locked in, but day after Christmas, you're kind of in a weird spot. You know, it's not the same. November 11th, I know what I will be doing. I'm going to be watching the game. So I think it's in the best spot possible for viewership reasons. Um, I mean, I personally want to change it.
Yeah, and look, he went on to say like you pull both fan bases, 99% of them would probably say, yeah, I wish this wasn't as early on. Look, to me, high level basketball games are high level basketball games. Say what you want about the scheduling of it. It's going to be high intensity, high level, and a game too that for me personally, I guess maybe to your point, coming from outside, like we're not ingrained in this rivalry. We get to see a high level basketball game on November 11th.
Right.
That is in itself really good, and I think everyone will be tuned in. And like, say what you want, 99% of the fan base will say there's no positives, but what they're damn sure going to tune in. The Yum Center is going to be full. Like, so it is what it is. And from a basketball standpoint, like, you have a high level tournament level game on November 11th. That's only going to do good things for your team, win or loss, right? Like, obviously, you want to win, you want to beat your rival, but to challenge yourself at this point, I think we'll even go even longer ways in this. And last, but certainly not least, I love some good November 11th negativity. Let's get negative in the Yum Center November 11th. I want blood.
I also think if you play late December, early January, right, and you play a high level basketball game, specifically if you're Kentucky, and this is why I think it's interesting. Like Pope's the one, like, oh, they're the reason we're playing it so early. If I'm Kentucky, I don't think I want to play Louisville and then go into my SEC schedule. That could be like, by the way, you're at Auburn, you're at Tennessee, then you got Florida, Alabama, so on. I'm good. I'd rather play Louisville early, figure out what's wrong and get it right for SEC play. Because if Louisville exposes all your weaknesses, you don't have time to fix it before you play a brutal conference schedule.
Right, exactly. Look, and this is just complaining. I mean, obviously, I get it. I understand like where the fan bases are coming from, but at the end of the day, I'll see y'all all on November 11th. Like, it's a lot of hoo ha and whine and well, like not wham. I'm sorry, that was up. But the Yum Center will be full on November 11th. It will be major levels of negativity in there, and everything will be good about it, and we'll all be tuned in. So, I appreciate these quotes from both parties, but let's just go ahead and fast forward to November 11th. Oh, go ahead, Dion.
One last thing. I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. It might be in their crib, but it's in our state. Kentucky by a billion.
Can I have one last counterpoint to that?
Absolutely.
Who's checking Michael Brown?
It might be in their crib, but it's in our state.
Our state. Piss off. L's up. I'll see y'all November 11th.